So on Monday, January 15th, New York City saw the biggest and the largest strike ever. 15,000 nurses walked off the job and decided that they are going to strike because they have not reached settlement with their hospital providers. Now, there are 3 hospital systems that were affected. The 3 systems include that of New York Presbyterian, Montefiore, and also that of Mount Sinai hospitals. Now, these 3 massive systems saw all their 15,000 nurses walking out and standing on the outside protesting. But what were they protesting and what were they asking for? These nurses were protesting with regards to safe staffing ratios. So this means that they want to see a set number of patients that nurses receive on a daily basis. Now, many would argue you'd want to see a 1-to-5 ratio, meaning that you have 1 nurse to 5 patients. But many times people, even nurses, see 1 to 8 patients or even more. And the New York nurses were also protesting for safe working environment, ending of workplace violence that many times happen with patients and nurses, you name it. The next thing that they were lobbying for and asking for is that of fair wages. Now, this led to a strike because they did not reach settlement. Why? The hospital administrators were literally saying that their requests were too extremes. Now, it was immaculate to see what was happening in New York City. Now, I don't know wherever you are in the world right now, but if you're watching this and you saw the New York strike that was taking place and it didn't move any fiber in you and you're a nurse, I don't know what else will. When I saw this, I felt like, yes, we are unified. We are coming back. We are showing that we are the value and we are the voice and we hold the power. Now, what is amazing is that when the nurses noted and the union noted that the associations or the hospital systems were saying that their requests were too extreme, those that I listed earlier were the bare minimum with regards to that. It was so good to see unions standing outside that picket line, leading marches, standing with their nurses. Now, what was so good to see were the placards with the nurses standing up and holding and standing on that picket line. And I'm going to show you some of these videos, so stay right here as we take a look in the videos. Now and forever. Now the nurses are on day 3, and I think this probably is day 4 of that strike. Now, we don't know how long this will last. Now, based on the strike that is happening, even the governor had to declare a state of emergency or a state of disaster. So a contingency plan had to be put in place. Now, another irony of this is that the massive strike that is happening in NYC, this has led to the Hospital Association employing travel nurses to come in and offset the shortage that they are having. So this means that nurses who don't normally work in that system will be employed through travel staffing agencies to come in and fill the gap. And these nurses are normally paid at extreme high levels. Now, many of them were working, I saw some of them posting online, $100 to $120 per hour, $10K a week, and that's USD. And this is something that normally happens in the United States. It is termed a strike nurse. So when a facility goes on strike and the nurses are on the inside, the hospital will then employ staffing agencies to bring in adjunct staff that will supplement for the time until the strike has ended. And this is big bucks. I can presume that the hospital already is spending billions to pay those nurses. Now, the perks that those travel nurses do get is that they get a big bank, a big amount of money. They also get their flights taken care of. Buses will come and pick you up to and fro from work, and some other perks. They may get stay over in hotel accommodations, which normally free of cost for them. Now, this normally happens in the US. It's termed strike nursing, and you also have travel nurses who just do regular travel nursing. That means you take 13 weeks contract. With your 13-week contract, you can work at any facility once you meet the requirement. The hospital just wants you to come in because they're having difficulty in finding staff for that period. A 13 weeks contract will last like 3 months or more. You often can stay for that 13 weeks. Your contract can be renewed, and you have the ability to stay as long as you want once the facility persists. Now, you're normally paid if you go with agency every week, and these nurses are normally paid at a higher rate than the staff nurses. Now, as I can be amiss of me to have a platform such as this speaking about nursing and seeing a strike taking place, it was beautiful to see. It pulled on my heart, and I even said to myself, I felt like I should be there standing on that picket line, because everything that they're asking for is what every single nurse across the world in their country, if your country is good, then that's fine, but it's the same thing we have been asking for: fair wages, better working conditions, better staffing ratios, and they are standing up and asking for same. Now, lots of nurses flooded social media, reposted, you name it. But the beauty about it is that I saw nurses commenting from other states. I stand with you from Florida. I stand with you from Georgia. Even across the globe, we saw other persons reposting this. Now, it begs the question for me: can this be a precedent? Now, they had staged strikes before, and strikes has happened all across America already. You saw a strike that took place in California, but this is the biggest that city, New York, has ever seen. Now, the question I beg: can this be a precedent? Will there be more? Will they reach settlement? And I hope they do, because they deserve it. One thing that I noted when I saw the pictures, I saw nurses holding placards which show the CEOs, and they titled how much each CEO made. I saw one of the placards, and I'm going to put it here for you to see too. And we can see that they made in the millions per year. So what the nurses are asking is bare minimum. Now, I'm happy with this. I do hope the New York nurses do get settlement, and they say that they may persist as long as possible. Now, this is the effect and the beauty of having a union, a strong and effective union. Now, I want you guys to know also that not all states have unions. New York is one, which is blessed, and I think California has unions. I don't know about the others. You can type in the comment section below and let me know. I repeat, that's the beauty of having a strong union. It was magnificent to see the union members standing on the picket line with those nurses. Even the mayor came out and gave his 2 cents with regards to with the nurses also. It was spectacular, and I do believe and hope that they get settlement. Now, let me take this back a bit to those who live outside of the United States. If you're an international nurse and planning to migrate to different countries, these are news that you need to pay attention to, because when you migrate to these countries, you're going to face the same problems, the same struggles that these nurses also face. So many a times you live outside of a country and you may think that everything is all, and they make big bank, big money. Remember the cost of living. Outside of your country, that number will look large and may look beautiful. But when you relocate to that country, you'll actually see that cost of living, the amount of things that you have to pay in terms of bills, do add up. Do not think that you're exempt from this. We're all experiencing the same thing. They have the ability to stand up and to fight. And that's what we're looking at right now, the unification. So for me, what did I get from this? And I hope those nurses get settlement. New York nurses and the union they have did not just stand up for themselves. They stood up for New York City, the entire state, the entire Americas in terms of nurses, and also most ultimately, they stood up for the profession. So anywhere you are right now, they're not just fighting for themselves, they're fighting for every single nurse too. You may not look like you're in the country, but it's for the profession, because these are the same problems that we are experiencing. But before we go, I'm going to scratch my head a bit. When I saw the union members and all and what was taking place, and said that they're willing to go to the length and see how long this strike will take. Can I ask a question? Is there a Caribbean lineage or West African lineage in any one of those union members? And you know why I'm asking. Revolution, okay, there must be, but I'm super proud of them, and I hope they continue to fight, and I hope they get what they adequately and fairly deserve. Thank you guys so much for watching. What do you think of the New York strike? What's your takeaway from this? Did it affect you? Do you think it will affect you in the long run? Let me know in the comment section. If you're a nurse and watching this right now and you are in the Caribbean and you're interested to start your international nurse journey and you're interested to sign up with legitimate US employers, please send me an email in my description below, or feel free to use my social media handles to send me a DM. And if you're even from Africa, within the country of Ghana, and you're interested to start your international nurse journey, send me an email or a DM to begin.